Hello and welcome to my review of the Blackstone Fortress Negavolt Cultists models. You'll find them in that box set, which costs you £95. It does include a lot of miniatures though for your money. It would be great if you could get them all separately. Hopefully that will happen at some point. Let's talk about the models first of all. I'll do some size comparisons and then we'll go through the Warhammer 40,000 rules. As you can see, like the other three sets of four groups of miniatures, the Beastmen, the Spindle Drones and the Urgals, it's a similar kind of story whereby you've got two pairs of models that are exactly the same. So these guys here, they've got their electro goads in exactly the same position, the legs are in the same position, they've got these little cables that are firing out of their heads, and they've got some more goads here and a big kind of electric kind of generator thing on their back. They're kind of like cultists. Humans had all this apparatus fitted on them and they just go around just zapping people. But yeah, I just wanted to show that you get two that are pretty much the same, and then you get the other two that are the same as well with their taser goads, electro goads, sorry, on their right arms, and their left legs are forward. But other than that, they're kind of exactly the same models. I like them better than the electro-priests actually. I like all this cabling coming out of their heads. Pretty cool looking models. So there you go, that's what they look like. As always, a doddle to put together. Let's just show you some size comparisons. So with some other models in the set, so here are the Urgals. They're on 32mm bases, which is pretty good. They are a fair bit bigger than the Urgals. Compared to the Beastmen absolutely dwarf them, and then they're on the same bases as well. And compared to the Chaos Space Marines, again, Chaos Space Marines dwarf them too. So they're quite a small unit in the set. Let me just show you some Imperial units. So next to a normal Space Marine is bigger. You'd expect them to be, and then a Primaris as well, far bigger. So that's where they stand in terms of the Imperium. They are quite a small unit. Okay, so this is my part of the review where I'll go through all of their rules. So you'll find them in your Blackstone Fortress datasheet book. They are an elite choice and they're a power points cost of 2 and they're a points cost of 45 for all four of them, which make them almost double the points of the Chaos Beastmen. Let's see if they're actually worth almost double the points. Now their movement is 6 inches, their weapon skill is 3+, ballistic skill is 4+, their strength is 3, toughness 3, 1 wound, 3 attacks, leadership 8 and a save of 6+. So already they've got more attacks, their leadership is better, but their save is worse, and their strength and toughness are worse. So already that's a worse kind of stat line than the Beastmen. The unit contains 4 Negavolt Cultists. Each model is armed with electro goads. Only one of this unit can be included in your army. Now these electro goads, this is their main weapon. It's just a melee weapon, so it's actually pointless them having a ballistic skill. It's a strength +2, so that means their strength is 5, AP 0 and a damage of 1. However, each hit roll of 6+ made with this weapon scores 3 hits. Now that's why you're going to get them. So if they've got 3 attacks each, that's 12 attacks. Let's say you get 2 6s, you've got 3 more hits. So you've got, if you're going to be rolling 6s, this is going to be absolutely crazy in terms of how many extra hits you get. So it has a chance of hitting many times if you get those 6s. And our abilities, they have Servants of the Abyss, like most of the Chaos units in the datasheet book, which just means that if you have Obsidious Malix, they have to be set up within 6 inches of him. That's a lot of models when you think about it, that have to be set up within 6 inches of him, or they must all be set up in the same transport as him. This is another ability unique to them, Voltergeist Field. Models in this unit have a 5+ invulnerable save. When the unit completes a charge move, choose one of the target units you charge and roll a d6 for each model in the charging unit. Each roll of 6 inflicts 1 mortal wound on the unit you choose. Now that's awesome. So you're rolling a d6 for every model in the charging unit, every model. and 6s, you're getting mortal wounds. So that's why you're getting them. You're getting them for lots and lots of attacks at strength 5, with a weapon skill of 3+, might I add. And also you're getting them for their 5+ invulnerable save and their potential of inflicting 1 mortal wound. Finally, Fanatical Devotion. Each time a model in this unit loses a wound, roll a d6. On a 5+, the model does not lose that wound. So that's really interesting, that they're just dressed in rags and stuff, and they're powered by these, big batteries, basically, these generators. But still, they've basically got to feel no pain. So 5+, and they just ignore the wound. And they've only got 1 wound each. If they had 2 wounds each, I think they'd be pretty overpowered. Their keywords are Chaos, Servants of the Abyss, Infantry, and Negavolt Cultists. So yes, they are worth the points. They've got that invulnerable save. They've got a strength 5 weapon that can produce multiple hits, and they can inflict those mortal wounds. So yeah, they are worth the points, and yeah, I would say that they are an elite choice. Just the only downside with them, of course, is they've got no range at all. They're only movement 6 inches, and they've got no ranged weaponry. So you need to get them in close, much like your Urgals, if you're going to use them. But of course, the Urgals, they don't need to be near Obsidious Mallex, basically. And that's all I wanted to say about the Negavolt Cultists. What do you guys think of them? Do you think they're a good contender to the electro-priests? Put it in the comments below. Thank you ever so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching. Papa bless.